Okay, so we are recording now. So just so you know, the purpose of this study is to gather information about your experiences of belonging during your journey to Israel. And in this portion of the study, you'll be asked several questions that will allow us to have a broader and deeper understanding of your unique experience. Your questions or your answers are valuable. There's no wrong answers to any of these questions. At no point during this interview will I use your name or identifying information, so please refrain from also using your name. While we hope that you'll be as honest and transparent as possible, you can end the interview at any point, and you're not required to answer any questions that you're uncomfortable with. And so for our records, if you agree to participate, please state your consent by saying, I consent.
I consent.
Okay, great. So first I'm going to start with some general questions about belonging. So can you tell me what belonging means to you?
Belonging means like if something belongs to you, like for instance, if you have certain artifacts, like say if I was in Iraq and I had artifacts that I had gotten there, and I brought it over back home, those artifacts belong to me. But it depends if I want to share it with someone to let them see what was there when I got in theater.
So maybe another way to think about this is, for some people, they have an emotional experience of belonging, where they have this internal experience of belonging to something that's external. So perhaps at some point in your military career, you maybe had that experience with other service members where you felt like you belonged to a team or a group.
Oh, okay, yeah. He was a hero. It was like when I met the females there, I felt like I belonged there with the other 10, I believe it was like 10 or 13 other female veterans. I think it was 10 U.S. veterans and 3 Israeli veterans.
Okay. And all women?
Yes, all women.
Okay. And so do you think there was something in particular about the experience of it being a group of all women that maybe contributed to you feeling like you belonged?
Yeah, I felt it was better to have all females. And then we had 2 captains that were in the team prior. And, I liked it because it was veterans from Iraq, Afghanistan. And then we had I think maybe a few from, maybe 1 or 2 from Desert Storm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so other than your trip to Israel, are there other areas of your life, like currently now, where you also experience that feeling of belonging?
Well, I know, like, when I grew up in a Christian home and stuff, but I felt when I went to Israel, walking on Holy Land where Jesus walked and of the famous biblical people, I had like this, like calling, like I wanted to try to learn more stuff in the Bible, like educate myself. And I even said to myself, like, doing it like interfaith practices. So I was thinking, like, if I ever went back to school, I probably want to go back to school for like divinity.
Okay.
Logical studies.
And then, so since you've come back to the States after your trip to Israel, have you had experiences similar to kind of the belonging with this group of other female veterans? Is there other situations that you've found since then that you feel similarly since you've been back, or was that the kind of only time that you've had something like that?
I know I went to another event. This is prior to Heroes of Heroes. It was with mindfulness.
Oh, okay.
Better retreat near the Catskills.
Okay.
And we did some stuff with some theorists, Thich something, I forgot his name, where you do mindfulness meditation and practicing different chimes, prayers and stuff. It wasn't like they wanted to change your religion, but as far as for veterans who were in combat.
Okay.
You know,
So similarly, it was also, you were surrounded by a bunch of other people who had experienced a lot of the same things as you
correct.
during your military experience. Okay. And so, maybe that's a good example for us to talk a little bit more about, being with this other group of veterans, learning more about mindfulness and being on that retreat. Can you talk to me more about how important or what extent the experience of belonging in that situation matters to you?
It made you feel like more grounded. I know, like, I had some stressors, and at that time I had to take a leave of absence from school. And I was glad I went. I invited my sister because you could invite family as well, which was good.
Oh, okay.
And what was I gonna say? It was like a monastery.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
the actual person who was facilitating it, he was a storm veteran.
Oh, okay.
So, he had stuff to relate with us. And it was a lot of work that they put into it. But I'm glad I learned some of the mindfulness tips, and as well as learning stuff with yoga. I didn't really know much of it prior.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's great. That's great. So, going back to, you already mentioned some experiences about this when you were in Israel during your journey. Can you talk to me a little bit more about your experience of belonging during your journey?
Well, I know we went to a lot of places, and there were certain places that really stood out to me. Like the worst place of where Jesus was born. There I felt like peaceful. And then I got baptized in the sea, Galilee. No, the sea. Well, the baptism, I forgot where it was at. But that was something that felt like I belonged in peace with the other female veterans.
Yeah.
Because some did get baptized and some of them didn't, but most of us got baptized. And we met the pastor who baptized us. And then the 2 chaperones, captains, they were in the water with us. And then the pastor put my head down and I got baptized. I liked it. That was something that was instrumental.
Yeah. And so, I'm thinking like the experience that you just described, being baptized, was that also something that maybe helped you bond or feel more belonging with some of the other female veterans who also got baptized?
Yeah, we did feel more bonded when we got baptized.
And so, I'm wondering if you can tell me a little bit more about that experience, because it sounds like it was pretty significant and pretty meaningful to you.
Oh, yeah, I had gotten baptized before, but it was more symbolic, I think, getting baptized in Israel, in holy water, where Jesus got baptized. Yeah. And then I got baptized among my fellow veterans from my group,
Yeah, so can you maybe tell me a little bit more about what you were feeling or some of the sensations you were having?
I had to pray and say that, forgive me of my sins, and pray for me as far as certain goals, that I have goals and aspirations to make and to get like a new slate after I got baptized.
Yeah.